Fortunately, Wi-Fi is not working, but we've not had kind of problem. And sincerely apologize to you. Phones are not read. Is our facilitator in? Nassil had a
Hello.
Yes.
Hello.
Yes, sir, I can hear you.
I want to apologize to you for keeping you this long. Can you start your presentation, please? Oh, but before you start, let me introduce our facilitator for today. We will note that it's not the core EAP topic. Am I still on? The topic we have chosen today is not the core EAP topic. The educational system is turning out people who readily are not employable because they don't have certain skills. It is now globally acknowledged that for people to get jobs these days, must have critical thinking skills, emotional intelligence. So today we're looking at topics that will be useful in contemporary skills that originally trained as a chemical engineer, as a petroleum engineer. She worked in the petroleum industry. Can you please mute yourselves, please? Can you please mute yourselves? Nassil trained as a petroleum engineer. He worked in India, the United Arab Emirates, and then came back to India, where she settled.
This is does it mean I can use this for
corporate facilitation? She's had very wide and diverse experience in training. Currently, she's acknowledged as one of the leading trainer in the educational industry.
Okay, in the case that they are recording it.
Okay.
They are recording it, so they can send it
in India. On that note, I want to invite Nassil. Please, Nassil, you may please go ahead and further introduce yourself and do your presentation now. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. Am I audible?
Yes, you
Can
are.
you please mute yourself?
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Adello, for this wonderful introduction. and this opportunity to be a part of EPA Nigeria. I am so happy to see everyone here ready. Right. So let us understand that today's session is going to be a two-way street where I speak and you will also speak and hear and interact. So it is not a boring classroom lecture, right? Where,
Yes, you are.
The teacher is speaking and the student are falling asleep. Right. Okay. So you can use the, you can use the chat window to write something. If I ask you a question, you can write an answer to that question using the chat window. Or you can use the hand icon if you want to raise your hand and say something. And if your camera is on and I can see you, then I can see that you are raising your hand up, and I can say yes, please. Okay. So let us start with a very important and very nice video that I thought this session should begin with. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen now. If I request that I have the authority to share the screen, because the host has disabled participant screen sharing. So if you can please allow me to share my screen.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, if you can please make me the host of this webinar. So until then,
I think you're already a co-host.
You
Mark,
can't
so you
share
can...
your screen now. You've been.
Yes, I can now. I can. Jana ki bhi itna ja se bhai.
Research shows that adopting an attitude of gratitude, simply expressing appreciation and being more thankful, can measurably improve your overall well-being. For example, studies prove that gratitude can increase happiness, reduce depression, and strengthen resiliency. Grateful people often experience reduced blood pressure, less chronic pain, increased energy, even longer lives. People who purposefully express more gratitude report higher self-esteem than those who don't, and they're more likely to help others, a pro-social behavior also linked to greater happiness. People who capture grateful thoughts before bed sleep better than those who don't. Why so many positive changes? Because gratitude actually rewires our brains, kickstarting the production of dopamine and serotonin. Like antidepressants, these feel-good neurotransmitters activate the bliss center of the brain, creating feelings of happiness and contentment. This appears to be self-perpetuating. Research suggests that with regular practice, you'll train your prefrontal cortex to better appreciate and retain positive experiences and thoughts, and to deflect the negative ones. Here are a few simple ways to deliberately cultivate that attitude of gratitude. Celebrate minor accomplishments. Think about what you have rather than dwelling on what you don't. Tell the people in your life something you appreciate about them. Tell yourself too. Volunteer, hold a door for a stranger, or simply smile more, and you'll probably feel better, as kindness and giving are connected to gratitude. Similar positive brain changes can occur from regular meditation and mindfulness. Keep a daily gratitude journal using an old-fashioned notebook or a high-tech app. The science is clear. Give gratitude a go. You'll be thankful you did.
So I'm beginning this session with an attitude of that's a spell. Okay. Okay. So let us start by I'm going to say how many of you are in business? How many of you are in business? Okay, I've got 2 raised. Okay. And how many are in service?
Sales, yeah.
Yeah, sales or an employee. You can be administrator, you can be a manager, or you could be a CEO. You are in employment. How many of you are in employment? Yes. All of us, right? All of us are working. True. So here. So I want to ask this question to everyone. Is this the first time the human population of the world has confronted something called pandemic? Is this the first time?
No.
Yes.
No.
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 Yeah. So we have had a different kind of pandemic and different type of calamities, war, right? And human beings have always come up beyond all the setbacks, right? Okay, so I just want to show you another video, okay, which is going to tell you, which will tell us what is the impact of this COVID. Are we seeing COVID as something very big and very challenging, and the end is going to be so big that we cannot move ahead? I just want to show you a visual presentation of what COVID is.
If I can move, I need to make a host. I have changed the host. Make a cool.
Sir, I have been disabled to share again. I've been disabled. I cannot share my screen.
I will get back to you now. It's the network. I'm trying to get you back on. Sorry. Are you?
Yes.
On now.
Okay. So here I'm going to show you a comparison of all the disasters that the human history has experienced, and here we are today.
Oh.
Everybody mute themselves. Please mute yourself, please.
Can the host mute everybody and then?
Nasio, please, can you mute everyone?
I have muted everyone.
I will share once again.
Good visual when it comes to the history of pandemics. I want to thank Visual Capitalist. Their graphic designers just sent this to me. First, here's the number of deaths on a timeline from the year 165 AD through the centuries. Here's the Black Death or bubonic plague in the 14th century. Here's smallpox. The larger the virus icon, the more deadly. Here's the Spanish flu and the HIV/AIDS pandemic. And of course, today we are dealing with COVID-19. But let's scroll down for a closer look at the death toll from highest to lowest. The bubonic plague, which was spread by fleas, wiped out as many as 200 million people, about half of Europe's population in just a few years' time. Smallpox in the 1500s killed an estimated 56 million, the majority children. Then in 1918, the Spanish flu, roughly 40 to 50 million. And the plague of Justinian in 541 AD, about 50 million in the Eastern Roman Empire. We move down here to the fifth deadliest. Since 1981, AIDS has killed 25 to 35 million people. Several plague and flu pandemics have killed 1 to 12 million people. And we all remember this, the swine flu, just 10 years ago, that killed 200,000 people. Yellow fever in the late 1800s killed about 100,000. The Ebola outbreak in West Africa, 11,000. And this is us right now. The death toll from COVID-19 is rising by the day. It currently stands at just under 9,000. The total has well surpassed that of MERS and SARS and is projected by some health officials to climb to more than 1 million if the coronavirus continues to spread at its current rate. But the hope is that the measures we are all taking to self-isolate and stay at home will keep the death toll much lower.
And if you'd like more information on the history of pandemic.
So the good news is that compared to the other pandemics, this is very, very small, okay? Very, very small. We don't have to worry about it. All we have to start doing is start living and start sharing and upskilling ourselves, okay? So this is a little bit about me. I have been an educator and a facilitator, a life coach. I can be reached on my email address, on my Facebook, on my Instagram, and my LinkedIn. So my invitation or a question to you would be, who runs the organization? Any responses? Who runs the organization?
The employees.
Yes, it's the people. It's the people who run the organization, right? It's you who runs the organization. Wonderful. Thank you. Thank you for that, Miss. So now in our new time, okay, in the past, it was a man's role and a woman's role. With COVID, do you see the men and the women? Because now we are work from home. Everyone and both of them are doing all the jobs, right? Is that happening in your houses?
Yes.
Great. So I'm happy to hear that from India to Africa, the changes are similar. Okay, so here is a little infographic that shows us that in the center, that is COVID-19, okay? In the second circle, we have, different options. What is how do we avoid COVID-19, finding a vaccine? What is the impact of COVID-19 on trade? What is the impact on travel? And what is the impact of COVID-19 on financial markets, right? And do you see the beauty of this infographic? Okay, this I've taken from the World Economic Forum. And what I see is that it is interconnected. Okay, when you see about the spread of COVID, everyone is affected. The aging people, the healthcare, the media and entertainment, the global governance, and finding a vaccine. Again, not everyone is trying to find a vaccine through innovation, through human rights, biotechnology, future of healthcare, impact of trade. Here, do you see this blue highlighted impact of trade? Arts and culture, automotive, geoeconomic. This basically represents that we are interconnected and we are not operating just individually. If there is a crisis in China, then everyone is affected. Okay. Again, through this International Labour Organization, I have found some very interesting information, which is what has been the biggest challenge in this time has been communication and problem solving. So these are the two skills that are going to be of most importance, okay? Communication and your problem solving ability. Now, when I say, I'm coming back to the main stop share for now. I am going to ask you people over here in this seminar. When I say skill, what comes to your mind?
Trainings.
Trainings, yes. What kind of trainings?
Competency.
Competency trainings. And what are the competency trainings that you would think of?
Online trainings.
Online trainings to maintain social distances. Yes. And what topics would you cover when I say skills?
Businesses we can do from home.
Mindset.
Businesses we can do from home.
Okay, if you can tell me what kind of business skills?
Customer relations.
Customer relations, yes.
Networking.
Networking, beautiful, beautiful.
Communication.
Communication, yes.
Employee
Emotional
engagement.
intelligence.
Employee exchange.
Emotional intelligence.
I'm sorry, please.
Emotional intelligence.
Emotional intelligence, brilliant, brilliant.
Mindset,
yes.
mindset
yes.
shift. So.
Yes, mindset. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. So what I understand is everybody is aware over here to yes. Yes. So independently, you are aware of the skills that you need. Now, just like when you go to grad schools, they teach you all the law of chemistry and law of physics.
Making fajitas? Yeah. Remember, if you ever see, hear, or smell a safe location. Thanks.
This gives you a good visual when it comes to the history of pandemics.
Hello?
Yes, please. We can hear you.
Hi.
Okay, yeah. Okay. So when I say that this allows you, it's like going to a grad school and where everything is loaded on you. Okay, you need to know this, you need to know this, you need to know your mathematics. I would say in this pandemic, okay, everyone over here, all of you over here know communication, you know networking, you know problem solving. Now, what are we going to do with this? We are going to take this and focus on the areas where we need to focus on. Okay? These are the top skills and top area we are going to see. Okay? First is invested. People, knowledge of company, curiosity, industry, communications, solutions, vendor, partnership, and lastly, leadership. Okay, I will let you know as we go through why I'm putting leadership at the last. Okay, you will analyze it yourself when we go ahead in this presentation. When I say we must be focusing now on invested, okay, what do we be invested in? Invested in the process. Okay, do you know what your company is doing? Are you putting in the effort and dedication and the desire to move the company forward? Are you exhibiting excitement and engagement, or you are just crying about this pandemic? It's not the first time. So what are you doing? Where is your focus? Where is your focus? Is your focus in you or in the company? Okay, I want you to reflect on this and reflect on this process. And what are the skills that will help you to see this investment in this area? It's your passion, your commitment towards the company, your commitments towards your growth. Are you enjoying doing this? Do you have a goal? Are you taking initiative, or you are waiting for somebody to find a solution and give it to you in your hand? I will tell you an example of Southwest Airlines. Have you heard of Southwest Airlines?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. They have a role play which is called Walk the Line. Okay, Walk the Line. And one day the employee gets to be in the shoes of another employee, and he shadows that employee to see what is the employee doing. And this gives the other employee an idea of what it is to walk in the other person's shoes. I feel this is a beautiful initiative that was taken by Southwest Airlines way back in the 90s. Today, when COVID when we go back to work, we have the opportunity to be very, very connected to our colleagues, to understand what they are doing, to understand what you are doing. So we kind of form a group and understand what each other we are doing, right? So to make the company move forward, because only if the company is making profits, you are in business. Take initiative. People, like I said, people are the most important asset of an organization. Are your goals in alignment with your organization goal? Are you in alignment with different people, groups up and down in your organization? Are you ready to help a colleague who needs your help? Are you reaching out? Today it has become so easy to reach out to your colleagues. If you are going to work and someone is not coming to work, you know what to do. Reach out. So this is a skill. Reaching out to people is the skill that I want you to have post-COVID. Make that effort, make that initiative. I will tell you a story here that today I'm on this platform because, Sir Adinisa, he called up and he said, would you be able to do this? And I was very happy to accept this offer. If he had not reached out, I would have not known him. So reach out people from all over the world. You never know who can be of help to you, to your organization. What does this alignment bring? What does this alignment bring? The skills that you need. It brings trustworthiness. It brings us approachable, approachable to each other. It makes us more understanding, When I walk in your shoes and when others walk in your shoes, we both understand each other's perspective. So listening is such an important skill. Our interpersonal relationships will be improved. The relationship with our boss will improve. Are we going fine so far? Am I too fast, too slow,
No.
or am I okay?
Yeah, okay.
Okay, great. Okay, so I'll go back and start. Just wanted to check on that we are doing fine. Okay. Next, knowledge of company. If you are a new employee, pick up the time, be involved. Pick up a time of past, present, and future. Where do you think the company started? Where is it now? And what is the future? Try to find out the areas which it has scope. Have you heard of Alibaba?
Yes.
Okay, so Alibaba is an online trading portal of China, and it started during a crisis. So see this crisis as an opportunity to bring about change in your company. If there is something in your company that you did not like about it, then this is the time for you to change it. This is the time for change, to implement progress, to implement your ideas. You know, have you ever felt that my ideas are not considered? Have you ever felt that?
Yes, sometimes.
Yeah, so this is your chance. This is your chance to let your people who are above you to know, to shine and say, hey, this was my idea. Do you want to give it a try? Because this is a time everyone is looking for new ideas, new initiative, new progress, right? So I want you to do research. I want, you know, companies who do not change perish. Company who do not welcome adversity, who cannot handle a crisis, they perish. So this is this is the skill that you need to work on, you know, knowledge of the company. How will you do that? How will you do that? And what result it will give you? It will make you to take initiative. You know, you will know the business acumen of your company, your role awareness. You know, if you are just there and you think you were unheard, unnoticed, this is your chance for you to bring that the role that you play is important. The sense of belonging, organizational agility, you know, and some problems are situational and can be solved in a small time, and some are more big, which will take time. No one knows when COVID is going to go or stay, or a year or two, but you have to do what you have to do. Do you remember when you were 5 years old? Do you remember? Yeah. I'm going to stop sharing and go back to you. Yeah, I'm going to stop sharing and come back to you and interact with you for a minute and say, when you were 5 years old, and your daddy brought you a new bicycle, what was your curiosity? I got a new bike.
To scatter it first, then put it together.
Right. I want you to go back to that 5-year-old self of yours and bring that curiosity out. You know, that which is sleeping, which has been put under the burden of everyday mandate things. I want you to bring out that curiosity and say, now what is going to happen? Let me feel, or let me experience this, or let me see how it can, or what can happen. I want you to be curious. And what happens when you bring about this curiosity? You keep up with the trends, okay? You network, because your curiosity will take you, like my curiosity has brought me today to Africa, right? I said, let me see how I can be a facilitator in Africa. It will give you, I know I'm going to make more friends tonight, you know, and some of you will travel to India to meet me, and I will travel to Africa to meet you all. I know that, you know. And what am I doing? I'm using my available resources. You can use same. Ask questions, you know. Do researching. I did so much in this past few days. As soon as I knew I'm going to do some Zoom in Africa, I was reading about the food they eat and you know, what is the status, what is the education status of Africa, since I'm in the education space, you know. And I learned that there are so many similarities between India and Africa in terms of education. You know, with the new online education, we both have similar challenges. We have challenge of electricity, we have challenge of a good network, and the challenges are same, you know. And so if you are in any industry, go look around. What is happening? What is the trend going around in your industry? If you are in manufacturing or you are in sales, what is going on? What is the new digital trend? So the current trends that I found out what were going on. Personal learning. I will share something with you tonight. Personal learning, I even learned how to cook dishes that I have never cooked before. I learned how to cook Thai from Thailand. I even made a friend from Bangkok. He's a chef in one of the hotels in Bangkok, and he's sending me recipes, and we're trying out new recipes. It will change your perspective, you know. It will change your perspective of the world, which you will bring to your company. Like today, when somebody will tell me what is the education status in Africa, I have a better perspective to say. Technical learning. Everyone has started to learn about Zoom. This evening we had a challenge and we were able to overcome that. Make your personal drive very strong. This personal drive is not me who can pick up your hand and say, come on. It is you, your inner voice that has to say, come on, Lee, come on, do it. And you have to do it with persistence. And what is this data analysis? This is all the data that is available, or what you gather from your research, from your networking, from asking questions, from your curiosity. You will collect a lot of data. It's now time for you to do this data analysis. Industry. Focus. So here I'm saying focus on your industry. Focus on the industry that you would like to always work for. If you are in the wrong industry, and if you think, no, I was not made for this, this is your moment to change your industry or to further study about your industry. How do things evolve in my industry? What changes happened? What other organizations are doing, big and small? So you know your competition. Are you able to do collaboration with them? Is there a possibility of mergers? What is cutting edge? What are the trends? So go back to your concepts, theories, and trends. Go back. You know, do you see this picture of a binocular? One of them says that there are some industries that are big and going from big to small, but there are some industries which are becoming from small to big, right? So find out where you are, where your industry is, and work around that. And how will you do that? What are the skills that you would work on? Start with your organization. Find your ambition. What is the change management? If you decide that I want to change, how will you change? Do you want to change your industry, or is your industry going for a change? Are you ready to drive this change management for your organization? Is it result driven? What is your peer relationship? And what is the decision making ability? What is your decision making ability? Again, go back to the concept, theories, and trend. And slowly I'm coming to the end of this as communication. We all know what communication is, yet we need to again and again be reminded of this skill of communication. Because now communication has become high touch model. I touch the screen to touch your heart. I am only touching your heart and your mind by using my touch screen. So our level of communication needs to change now. It's a two-way commitment and the value that we add. And at what levels? From a corporate point of view, it is inside the organization, it's with your customers and your vendors. It's a cycle. Quickly, are we all here? Is it good so far?
Yes.
Yes, it is.
Okay. So if we can have.
Yeah.
Okay. So, what are the things that you're going to do? Here, you will focus on personal relationships. Okay? By personal relationships, I also mean the relationship that you have back home, the relationship that you have in your office, the relationship that you have with your neighbors. I'm talking about all the personal relationships, every heart that you're touching. Okay? All relationships. People reading. This is a skill that we all need to develop now. You know, in the previous time, when you go and meet somebody, you have a handshake, and you know from the body language, because there are a lot of courses on body language, and they say if your hand is like this, or if the eyes is sleeping, then you know it. Or if the boss is sitting with the leg crossed, or if your client is sitting with your hand folded, all this is gone. We need new eyes, new vision to see and read people, because all is happening behind your screen. Okay. Proactive composure. We need to be proactive about what is going on. Yes, we need to be very fast because everything is changing with the speed of light. We need to do object listening, which means that here I'm speaking to you, but our human to human listening is through a screen. That's the reason also I say written and verbal communication is very, very important. write emails, write confirmations, whatever you have it in written is always a seal even today. And get creative with all your processes, with all your dealings. This is my favorite, solutions. I'm a chemical engineer, so I always think that life is all about solutions. When you have solutions, then yes. So consistently seek to solve problems. You want to be with someone who is a problem solver, not a problem creator. Okay, so we started off with training, that within the organization, a training can solve a lot of problems. Within the training program, what all that an organization needs, we should focus on the area, focus on the area that needs attention, because everyone has the skill. Each one of you who is in this room today has all the necessary skills to be successful. We only need to focus and streamline our focus. Be agile. So problem solving, strategic agility, proactive thinking, frequent change, realistic expectation, project and goal focus. All this is going to help you be a part of a solution. If you are an employee, for one day, just try to be in the shoes of your boss. If you are a boss, try to be in the shoes of your employee while solving problems. Because there is no such thing as a small idea to solve a problem. A small idea passed from one person to another person will become a little bigger idea, and when shared between a group of people will become a nice, bright idea. Do you agree?
Yes, absolutely.
Yes.
Wonderful, wonderful. When I hear voices, I feel really happy. I feel, yes, that people are behind the screen and not sleeping. Okay. Okay. Oh, okay. Now I just want to share something. Can everyone have their cameras on? Because I want to see you. We're just going to do a little exercise. So for me to do exercise, I want to see if you're doing exactly what I'm going to do. Is it possible to have your cameras on? Thank you, Chuma. Thank you, Joy. Thank you, Olanki. I'm sorry, I'm going to have a difficult time pronunciation, but I promise you, before I come to Africa, I will try to learn the pronunciation of name with the help of my friend. Okay, yeah, okay. So I have a very good number of people who have started the camera. So can I have a few more? It's going to be fun if we do that. Okay. So the idea is, now I want you to take your finger. I want you to take your finger. Okay. Show me your fingers. Come on, do this. Yeah, great. And I want you to do this. No, I want you to tap the two fingers. Do you hear anything? Do you hear? No. This is you. This is you. Now you have your colleague with you. Okay, you have your colleague with you. Yeah, a little bit. Great.
That's a sound. That's a sound.
Yes, that's a sound. Yeah. Now you're taking your management in the confidence, in your support system, in your journey of growth. Do you hear?
Yeah, greater sound. Greater sound.
Yeah, great. Now you're going to take your outside, your vendor and people who are supplying the raw material for your business, or giving you support from outside, your internet service provider, your coffee boy, and everybody who is helping you. What is that? Little bit more?
Much louder. Much
Wow,
louder.
fabulous.
And then lastly, when you have your nice all the global connections and your clients and customer base, then what happens?
Bravo.
Wow, worldwide.
Yeah. So when you say I am skilled is nothing. You alone getting educated and putting all the knowledge for yourself is nothing unless you teach that knowledge to your colleague. And that knowledge you will share with your boss, then that knowledge you will share with your with your vendors and your other support system. You show attitude of gratitude. And then if you're not taking care of your customers, you cannot have a loud big clap. Right. Thank you for this, joining me for this. Okay, so we'll continue with the vendor journey. Okay, how did you like it?
Very nice.
Wonderful. So
It was wonderful.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Nasim.
Yeah,
That was a good session.
No, I'm not finished. I'm just have a couple of slides more, please.
All right, go ahead, please.
Yeah. Okay, so this is your vendor. You cannot. I just wanted to see that the everybody is there. Okay. So yeah, so when you say your vendor, the product, the vision, what the vendors has to offer, the technical benefits of your vendor, all the skills that you would need to keep your vendor, the patience, patient, orientation with others, project scheduling, planning, priority, results, right? Partnership. So how we support you, how you make our partnership better, how ICE is my company, okay, makes our partnership better. So if we are here to partnership for any services, then I'm there for you. I'm learning to fly, and most important thing is our ethics. Functional and technical skill we will gain, negotiation we will learn, innovation management is the key to this area, and our own competencies. This is what is needed for a good partnership. That will a relation that is followed by trust and collaborative process. And last is the leadership. Okay, the reason why I'm putting leadership at the last right now is not because it's not important. It's because you can't be a leader if you don't have followers, right? So build your other relationships first before being a leader. Empower others, encourage and communicate with others, you know. So here, what you need is leading others, emotional intelligence, motivating others, purpose, approachable. Most important, the leader should be approachable. So quickly, whatever we did right now in this hour, these 10 points, quick for you to take it out, take a screenshot of it. These are the areas we will focus on. So I want you to go back today with only 3 points from here. Take time to evaluate yourself against each of these 10 areas. Identify where you are struggling. Look to improve the skills and identify these areas. Okay. Now I'm ready to talk to you. Any questions? Any questions? Any
Nasel, before we start taking questions, Nasel, before we start taking questions,
yes,
there is the professor of business strategy in our midst. He manages the Netherlands Business School, and he does this all the time. My brother and friend, Professor Larry Bale, let's have your comment on this.
Thank you, Nasrin, for a very beautiful work you've done. You've broken down the requirement, particularly post-COVID. And my reason for coming was to come and learn a lot, as I'm a perpetual learner, and I'm really, really overwhelmed by the amount of information you've shared today and by the amount of knowledge that I've learned from you. And now you have broken the various skills into 10. And the first thing that came to my mind as you were sharing the slides on the key take-homes today was, how could I get my students or my clients to have a simple evaluation on the scale of 1 to 10 on each of the 10 areas? And then that will help at least a brief competency analysis somehow on their own, based on self-evaluation. And self-evaluation is necessary to, first of all, let them know that they are not scoring 5 all over 5 on each of the items. Secondly, it prepares their mind psychologically to be willing to accept when you want to impact these skills on them. I think we've done a very awesome work. I'm overwhelmed. Thanks for this beautiful work. I know it must have taken you hours to get this prepared, or days. It's been a very awesome period for me, great investment of time for me today, and I cannot but thank you. And I want to thank my friend who insisted I must be here and who sent several reminders to me to be here. I also met my mentor here. As I stepped in, I saw Dr. Febulubili, who has been a mentor to me for over 12 years now. I mean, directly. And he has been mentoring me directly for many, many years since my days in Pfizer, for over 2 decades now. So thanks to have you, Nasrin. And thanks, Reverend Adilo.
Thank you, Miss Larry. Thank you, Larry Bell. It was just amazing to hear such good words from such a senior person from Netherlands. I just try to do what I think would be very, very beneficial for us.
Well, I'm going to call Dr. Olugbile, but before I call him. You all know that my primary constituency is the church. I'm a priest. The Babaladura of the Eternal Order of the Cherubim and Seraphim is with us in the person of Papa Bob Daniel. He apologized to me just before we started that he wasn't able to join us last month. So let me call on Dr. Bodmat to also give a comment. Then I'll go to Egbon, Dr. Lubile. Babaladura, sir.
Yeah. Thank you very much. It's a pleasure for me to be here this day. And I'll assure you that we gain a lot. It makes me sad that I was not present last month. But this one, you have a lot of things to learn. Because especially those who are leading and all those who you are leading. The leader as well as the subordinates. It's a very, very lively, enjoyable lecture. I thank you once more. Additional and lady, I'm very grateful indeed. I enjoy every bit of it. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. I should put it on good record that Dr. Bob Manuel was a manager in Shell. So when you see them in those big gowns, some of you assume that they are uneducated, they are unlearned. He was a manager. He retired a manager in Shell. Am I right, sir? Now I'm going from one retiree who is still active to another one. Dr. Olugbile is a member. He's been one of the inspirations behind some of our programs. I'm going to give him an opportunity to make a comment, and then we will go to the question and answer session.
Well, thank you very much, Dr. Reverend Adilowo. I want to start by thanking the presenter, Nazrin. You've done a very wonderful job. Basically, what you've done is show that all aspects of life, whether you are looking at industry or commerce or any other area of life, and all challenges in life or all opportunities in life, whether you are looking at the challenge of a post-COVID-19 environment, or you are looking at the boom of an expanding economy. Everything is underpinned with psychology. And the rules of psychology are not blind rules. If you actually take pains to study them and employ the fruits of your study, you can adjust. I don't want to use the word manipulate. You can adjust the environment to your own expectation or to your prescription. So we are not powerless human beings just floundering in the middle of nowhere and being buffeted by the wind, whether those winds are economic or climatic. We are actually empowered people who need to study the rules of engagement and the intricacies of their own makeup and their communication and interaction in order to be able to optimize the chances of things going to our own benefit, either individually or corporately. That is the message of what, to me, Nazrin has again put on the table for us today. And she has demonstrated that underpinning every human interaction is psychology. But I mean, anybody could have known, one would have thought that was self-evident. But actually, many people do not know. And many of us go through life not knowing that. Having known it, what it means is that it puts in our hand, if we take pains to study the mechanics of psychology, both in terms of what happens within ourselves and what happens in our interactions, we can adjust the environment on a repeated basis to maximize advantage both for ourselves and for whatever community or entities we represent, whether we are talking about a corporate entity or we are talking about a family unit, or we are even talking about an individual. If we understand other people, and how to communicate with them, we stand a better chance of creating an environment that is wholesome for us, that optimizes our chances of making profit and living well and being happy. I noticed that the lecture started on a note of happiness, and at the end of the day, we still haven't found a higher or better motive for being alive and for striving in the world than that first principle, which is to try to be happy and make other people happy. All of the other things that happen in between are roots to that ultimate, and we must keep that connection going. So Nazrin, thank you very much for a wonderful and very exciting and very stimulating lecture. I hope the partnership or the engagement that you described with the Nigerian EAPAN will continue, and we'll have more chances to interact in the future. Thank you again.
Sure. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Sir Femi, for these wonderful words. Thank you.
I deliberately didn't tell you that Naxim is a certified counselor, because I know that's going to come up somewhere. The president of IPA Nigeria is in the room. Maybe you should say a word. Dr. Massa.
Good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon, everybody.
Good afternoon.
Nasri, first, let me apologize for the initial hitches and thank you for a job well done. I thank Reverend and everybody that has made it possible, and every participant. No knowledge is a waste. And the post-COVID era is something that has created a lot of thought and fears in the mind of many people. But with the lecture we have had now, it is obvious that the COVID is not even as dangerous as some of the pandemic that the humanity had experienced. So that gives us the hope that we will still come out of this COVID better than we imagined. So thank you, thank everybody who has made it possible, especially Reverend Tunji, Bola, and Co. I thank you very much. So Reverend, over to you.
Thank you, Bola. Dr. Bolanle Odulate Ogunubi will take the question and answer session. Bola, you're driving us now.
Good evening, good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, Nasir. It's nice to have you here. Thank you so much for doing a fantastic job educating us this afternoon. Please, if we have any questions, please type it in the box, or if you can just raise your hand and then we'll call so we can take our question. So if you want to speak it out, please raise your hands. And then if you want to type it, you can also go to the chat room to type that in. So questions? You can unmute your mic and speak if you have any question.
For some of us, the link number given was not correct, so it took us some time to enter. So will the slides be available to us on the recording so we can hear everything from the beginning?
The printer made a mistake. We have the recording. The links will be shared later on this week.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We have a number of guests in the house. Maybe they should also ask their questions or make their comments.
I know she did a thorough job of taking each category, and she really explained it to us, so I can understand why the silence, because you really did a good job and you explained each and everything to us. So it's time for us to really reflect on it and go in there and answer those 3 questions, like you said at the end of it, to see where we are and what we need to do. So I think it's been a fantastic seminar, but we'll look at it, and if any questions come in while we carry on, we'll bring that to your attention. So I'll be on the lookout for the questions, and then if something comes in, I'll raise their hand and talk about that. How about that, Reverend? Back to you, sir.
Thank you. Every month from March, we've had this monthly learning event. No, February, actually, we had the physical one in February. We've had Zoom learning event from March of November, and let it be the last, or should we just call this the last for the year? So in the chat room, if you feel we should do one in November, please just indicate there. So this is a kind of survey. If you want us to do the last learning event in November, or we should just put an end to it now. I can see Sheyi Olulade saying yes. David Awojobi, yes. Okechinye, yes. Kayode says yes. Bola says yes. Well, the yes have it. So we will look at an appropriate topic. So we will do the one for November. Thank you very much for that. General Secretary, Mr. Tunji Ode Biyi will give the vote of thanks.
Yeah,
Good afternoon, everyone.
Yeah, I have.
Sorry, Tunji. Sorry, Tunji. Nasir, are you still saying something? Nasir, are you still saying something?
So I'm just going to say that there are 2 people who have raised hands. To say something and or you know, some kind of feedback if anyone, or they can just WhatsApp me also the feedback. Email address on the phone.
Nasri, please, you may mute your mic. I've muted everybody. You may unmute, please.
Yes, I'm saying that if someone wants to share a feedback, they can share it on my WhatsApp number, or they can just share it in the chat. Also, they can connect with me over Facebook, Instagram, or LinkedIn. I have put up. I've put up my email address and my WhatsApp number in the chat window.
All right, thank you, Nasri. Tunji, you may please give the vote of thanks and bring the meeting to a close.
Thank you very much, Reverend. I want to thank everyone. And let me start by saying that having Nasser here reminds me of the popular saying about beauty and brain. You'll agree with me that she's a very beautiful woman outwardly. And she has displayed to us that inside also, she has it. So we want to thank you. And if I could look at the time now, you have not just sacrificed your materials, you have sacrificed your sleep, possibly. Now, for all this, we want to say our big appreciation to you, Nasser. And we really, from the comments that we've been having, you realize that we appreciate this, not just for now, but for our general use in business, in our profession, and in relating and administering our counseling sessions. So again, Nasser, we appreciate you, we thank you, and we will say that you pass our hello and goodwill to your family too. Thank you very much. For the executive who have put all this together, I want to start with our able president, IEPA Nigeria President, Dr. Marcel Nwagu, and then our indefatigable Reverend Adelowo Adeshino. We cannot but recognize the last segment of the lecture of Nasrin, which is leadership. It's been very good having you. Thank you very much, sir. We will then move to our participants. Tens and dozens of you out there, we are glad to have you, and every contribution you've made is well appreciated. On this note, I will close this particular learning event. Fortunately, it won't be the last for the year. We will still have one more, which means we are expecting you and we'll have fun together. To everyone, thank you and God bless.
Thank you very much, Fiji. Thank you very much. It's important to note that we had at the last check about 68 people on the program. When I was talking to Nasrin in preparation, I said maybe 40, but we had 68 people, and we had people from Uganda, Ghana, South Africa, Kenya, and my friend and brother, Dende Karunwi, and a number of people from UK and Europe. So you've built a good network, you've made a wonderful impact.
Hello, Reverend. Hello, Reverend.
Yes, sir.
Somebody's from the United States of America.
Wow. Oh, okay. Nika is from the US. So it's a wide reach. It's a wide reach. So thank you very much. We'll talk on the phone later in the day. I know it's already night.
I am so sad about the printing mistake, because I just checked my phone now, and I have all my friends from India who has pinged me and said, hey, we can't enter.
It's the printer's devil. The printer made a mistake on the ID. It's most unfortunate. I'm sorry. It's most unfortunate. I'm sorry about that.
Yeah, but no problem. I think
we'll invite them to the November. Pardon?
I think we can have a joint session for India and Africa again.
Yes, I'm looking forward, because we're going to be changing the program. We will have like a symposium, which will be India, Africa, and maybe Europe in the coming year by the grace of God. So thank you. We'll invite your friends for the November event. For everyone that has joined us, it's been a wonderful learning experience. Go use what you have learned. God bless you all. Thank you.
Bye-bye. God bless.